Being that little bit different can be tough, but in what is known as a homophobic community, the sporting world can make it a bit more difficult. This documentary explores the ideas around homophobia, as well as what influential organisations can do to tackle it.
So my name's Chris Bush. I'm involved in rowing at Mercantile Rowing Club, and I came out when I was 21, and that was once I'd finished rowing. So I actually planned it so that I came out after my very last rowing race. I felt as though I couldn't come out to my teammates when I was rowing. Their actions were, of course, surprised, but overwhelmingly positive. A few of them also apologised because they had been quite homophobic in the past. Coaches will often use things such as "don't be such a girl" or "harden up, don't be a poofter." Just things that they, in hindsight, for them, they didn't realise that had a negative connotation, but to me, definitely kept me in the closet because I felt that everyone around me would feel the same way if I was open with them. I think the homophobia around me definitely had an effect on the way I felt. I spent a lot of energy kind of covering up my tracks and making sure that I said the right things about girls to give a backstory about who I was. Because I was worrying, I wasn't training as well, and I know the way I feel now and my clarity of mind and my relaxed state. I came very close to making the Australian team. I missed out my one spot. They took 8 and I was number 9. So I do wonder if I was feeling as I am now, mentally, and happy with who I am, I could have gone one better. I mean, the statistics are, 1 in 10 people are gay, so I think there's about 260 listed AFL players. So statistically, and statistics don't lie, there's 26 gay male football players in the AFL. And there are gay football players, just no openly gay football players. I really think more of an effort needs to be pushed forward to stamp out homophobic behaviour and to just set a structure in place that players would feel absolutely 100% supported. I think it's amazing that the biggest sport in Australia is doing this and making an effort, and I think each year it will get better. And the things that are said by footballers like Jason Ackermanis about gay players needing to stay in the closet, those are one voice amongst 1,000.
Some of the biggest names in football are lending their voice to a campaign to stamp out homophobia. While the Players Association wants attitudes to change, there's a claim the AFL's dropped the ball.
Brett Johnson, I'm General Manager of Player Development at the AFL Players Association. My role is to manage a program which aims to enhance the personal development and wellbeing of our players, past and present. I guess we at the AFL Players Association, we talk about a first-class sporting workplace, and we want all of our players, our members, to make sure, or we want them to be able to go to work and feel like they belong. In 2013, the players sought to increase their involvement in Idaho, which involved this targeted campaign, Footy for Idaho, which involved an initial video by players talking about how homophobic language can, impact on others, and the message was, as I said, driven through social media. It also then provided the tools for the general public community to then spread the message.
This May 17 is Idaho Day, International Day Against Homophobia.
Homophobia has no place in society, and it definitely has no place in our game.
This year we are raising awareness of the damaging impact that homophobic language has within sport and the community.
This campaign is driven by the Players Association, and while the AFL does fund education programs for the grassroots level, Jason Ball says the league has a lot of ground to make up in this area.
The idea behind it was, again, using the players. The players were really enthusiastic about it and wanted to really use their voice to really drive the message, because they understand, again, the impact they can have on, especially in the community. It's really important, I guess, as I said, for our members to feel like they belong in their workplace, and it's important the association has a voice and creates an inclusive industry, and it will help shape an inclusive industry, but also the players, as role models, and having that united voice to really have an impact and spread the message amongst the community. And that's something the players are really passionate about and feel like they can have an influence.
My name's Paige Cardona, and I'm currently a female football player for the Darebin Falcons. The importance of sport in my life, to me, it's been the one constant in my life. People will come and go and landscapes change, and There's always things that happen, but one thing you can never take away is sport. I do think homophobia exists in the AFL, whether that's from a player's point of view, that players that are involved with the clubs, or if it's just people generally in the stands that sort of yell things and say things. I think the reason there's no play that's come out yet is probably because of a few reasons. One probably being that they're probably worried about being accepted by the general community and the effects that that will have on their playing career as of now and into the future. And the other probably reason for it is that the backlash probably from people in the media or fans in general, and what they're going to have to go through with family, friends and all those people associated with that player. And it wouldn't surprise me if people more or less zoned in on the fact that he was a gay player rather than how good of a footballer he is and what he gives and presents to the community. I think what the AFL are doing to stand out homophobia is a couple of initiatives such as Athlete Alley and Idaho campaign, which have been really well supported and backed by some really big AFL players in the way of Joe Watson, Lenny Hayes, Luke Ball, Daniel Jackson and Brock McLean, who have been really proud and passionate about this campaign and have offered their voice to help. And I think that in itself sends a really strong message, especially given their stance in the game currently. I think the only reaction to a player coming out as gay is only going to be positive. There's so many young guys and so many girls out there as well that are involved in football that will see these people as heroes and role models, and this can only do wonders for their career and for the club that they're associated with, and really bring a spotlight into the AFL and show that obviously you don't have to be straight to be successful. I think people in other sports might find it a bit easy to come out, something such as rowing for example, where you've only got a team of 4 to 8, whereas in the AFL you've got 44 listed players and up to 100 people involved in a football club. So it could be a bit daunting to come out to that sort of type of crowd. It comes down to everyone. If you want to be the change, you've got to do it and you've got to stand up. It only starts with one person and everyone else will follow.
With such influential organisations supporting young people coming out, it is clear that more needs to be done. By the actions of the AFL Players Association, slowly the community is becoming less homophobic. But the next question is, when will the first AFL player come out?
But for now, just survive like you do. You love her in the morning, feeling so alive. Like you do, you'll see her in the morning. But for now, just survive.